Okay, you guys, welcome to our first official team call of June. You guys believe it's June? We're halfway through the year, okay? We are going to do some celebration stuff tonight. We have some things to shout out on this team. We have people in qualifications, we have new rank advancements, we have people re-engaged, we have new goals being set. Overall, we have some really fun things happening on this team, and we are elevating. We are changing. We are growing. Teams are growing. We're doing things that I think all of us are just like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing this. Or even like, wow, I can't believe I'm still sticking with this. Like, I wasn't sure if I could, but here I am doing it, right? Um, so Katie and Marissa don't know this yet, but they will be coming live to you guys on the team page to talk about their rank advancements. So anytime you hit director, which Marissa hit double wham wham, she hit director, and then Katie, congratulations, you hit director, and bump Marissa straight to senior director. It's a huge deal. So they're going to be coming to you live on our team page talking about what they did to get there. And I was with them every step of the way and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It's not easy, but as Amber can tell you, it does get easier. Every month, something feels a little bit easier, a little bit different. And we are just going to keep growing and elevating and changing and rank advancing and doing better and doing more. And every season, it's going to feel different. Every season, it's going to feel different. So, congratulations to you guys for rank advancing, and we are just very quickly going to go through Star Clubs. I just want to shout out Angela for hitting a Star Club bonus. I'm so proud of you. I know you worked your butt off for it. Katie Baker with 3 Star Club bonuses in her first month ever. And qualifying for director is like literally bananas. Stacia with 2 Star Clubs. Amber with 3. That's crazy. Elizabeth, who's not on this call but is Amber's new ambassador, also had a Star Club bonus. Heather with 2. Hunter with 1. Katie with 1. You guys, this team is blowing up. So if Star Club is on your radar, seriously, get with the people who are hitting Star Club to ask, what are your top tips, right? What do you recommend that I do? So congratulations, you guys. This team is just amazing. As far as our big team goal, I did drop something in the chat today. I think it was in the main Shackley chat. So we are officially in month 4 of our 20K OV qualifications, which is bananas. That's how I feel on the inside, Marissa. It's just crazy. Here is a little thing that I do in my head. Okay. When I hit month 4 of any qualification, I don't care how scary it is, okay? My goal goes to the next level. So we are not hitting 20K this month. We are hitting 30K. That is the next rank. That is the next thing. So if you are sitting at director, okay, give yourself a little bit of time maybe to adjust, but by month 4, and it's up to you if you want to wait till month 4, but we're not going to go month 4, 5, 6, 7 and then elevate, right? Month 4, you need to look at elevating your numbers. You need to look at, okay, why would I just sit at the same place when the whole point is growth, right? Like, I think almost all of us are here for, to prove something to ourselves, whether it's financial, whether it's individual, it doesn't matter. Like, we are growing. Okay. So it's a mental game, right? When you set a goal for yourself, and I know I've had this conversation with probably every single one of you on this call, it is not well, that would be really cool if it happens, but we'll just see. Because the way that you show up when you work, when it's a let's see what happens, is very different than the way you show up and work when you have a goal. And here's how we hold ourselves accountable to that goal. Okay?
I
You
love
announce it to your
you.
you announce it to your partner and you announce it to the team. Okay? You announce it to your partner and you announce it to the team. Why? Because quiet goals are safe. And so when you guys are seeing people drop into the chat, okay, I'm putting it out there, it's because they're coming to me saying, this is what I want to do this month. And I'm saying, go tell everyone. Get loud. Share it on your social media. Be confident in it. Be excited about it, right? So many of you decided in the beginning of the month that you wanted to hit a goal. And halfway through that month, your goal changed. And it was scary. But here's what I've realized. Being excited about a goal and being scared of a goal is the exact same feeling. It's just your perspective on it. So if you're like, I'm going to get after this. This is so exciting. This is such an amazing opportunity. I can feel the shift. It's all great, right? Then you're going to step into that goal excited and you're going to announce it to the team and we're going to freaking cheer you on. If you enter that goal being like, I want it, but I'm kind of scared to say it out loud because I'm just like, if I fail, then it's like, I feel shameful, right? Like it sucks to feel like you set a goal and you don't reach it, but that's what this business is. We fail and we fall on our butts and we get up and we do it again and as many times as it takes, right? So like that's the fearful approach. That's the safe approach. And you do not grow, rank advance, elevate, make more money, get to the next sales tier, hit more bonuses. You don't do any of those things there. But if you can shift your perspective to being excited and enjoy the bumpy ride because it will be, then your outcome will be really, really different. And I watched so many of you step into your power this month, and I'm so, 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 so proud of you. I've just been like screaming from the rooftops in my own household. Like, I can feel a shift. I can feel it in my own business. I can feel it in your individual businesses. And so, with that, tonight, I want to talk about um, social media. And I have had this conversation with so many of you already, but I feel like we need to have it again as a team because I feel like I teach certain things and then I watch stories and I see kind of the same things going on, especially in our stories and on our feed. And so we need a revamping. And it's not just a revamping because you guys don't listen. It's a revamping because when I started this business, I didn't know. And so I taught you what was working for me at that time. And I can say with full transparency and full confidence and no shame in my game that what was working in the beginning isn't what's making me grow now. It's just not. And you know what it took for me to realize that? Getting criticized and getting, and not in a bad way, in a positive critical feedback kind of way that I was begging for by Jamie, by Steve, and by my corporate mentor. So to start the call off tonight, I want to tell you guys some of the stuff that I've been doing wrong and some of the ways that over the last just 2 weeks, I have shifted how I'm approaching this business on social media and the way that I'm already seeing my numbers rise. Okay. And I'm going to hopefully you'll walk away from this call with like a few things that's like, do this, don't do that, right? So I'm not trying to leave gray area for anything other than creativity, okay? So, first of all, you guys can see I am not in my robe tonight, okay? And I say that because I got very comfortable going to work. I'm a probation officer. I don't go to work. I don't go to work in my robe. I go to work in high heels and a suit jacket, a dress, business professional. I'm an officer of the court. I'm testifying. I'm running hearings. I'm a professional. And then I come home and I strip down faster than you can even blink your eyes. And then I'm in the biggest sweatshirt that you could find, the baggiest sweatpants, and my robe, and I plug into my business. that worked for me for a really long time because what I was marketing was coming from really Beachbody, where I was just really focused on making that supplemental income as opposed to necessarily growing a team right up until about 6 to 9 months before the shutdown. Okay. So I was fine showing up kind of scrubby looking, like just not very professional. And I was helping customers and I was really focused on the recovery community, and that was fine. And that's what worked for me then. I am feeling a shift in how I'm feeling connected to different communities on social media. And so one of those shifts that I'm feeling is I'm feeling a little bit disconnected from the recovery community. And it's not in a way that's like, oh, I don't belong here anymore. It's just in a way that now with this company, I am growing a team and I am teaching my team leaders how to grow their own teams, right? And I am taking this on as a true business as opposed to a supplemental income side hustle. Those are two very different things. Okay. So in the recovery community, that's where I launched my social media. That's where I shared my story. And that's still a huge part of me. And for so long, I would say since the beginning of the year, I've been feeling kind of called or pulled to like start sharing about my life in a little bit of a different way. And I kind of was getting like the feedback, but that's who you are. And and I would always kind of fall back in line like, okay, yeah, that is who I am. That's kind of how I've made a name for myself on social. And then I just had this like come to Jesus moment where it was like, that's not who I am. That is a part of my story that has broken me down and rebuilt me and made me stronger. And now I'm that and a million other things, right? I'm not just an addict, right? So I always felt this pressure to keep going back to like sharing addiction content and recovery content and all of these things. And it was like, I wanted to spread my wings and fly, not lose that part of me, keep it coming organically, but not feel pressured to only reach my recovery community because my social media is my storefront. And when it comes to my next massive business leader that I'm looking for, the reality is I know that I am a little bit of a rare form, I guess, in the recovery community. It is hard to find other people who were heroin addicts and just get sober and then don't relapse for 11 and a half years. It's really hard to find somebody I can connect with on that level so I can inspire the heck out of a lot of people and I can lead them and give them motivation and tell them they're strong and we do recover and I can do all of those things. But my next business leader is probably not coming from that community. And that was the realization that I had. And it wasn't until I got on a call, I think it was originally with Jamie, and I told her I was feeling this way, and she kind of just said, she didn't really say much. She just listened and she was like, "Oh, okay. It's always been like your niche kind of niche or whatever." Um, and then we kind of went off on a different topic. And it wasn't until probably 3 or 4 days later I got a really long voice note from her, and she was like, "You know what? I've been thinking about you and that call." And she's like, "You hit the nail on the head. It is time to pivot." And I immediately burst into tears because it was like, makes me emotional to think about it now too, because it's like, I told her, I said, that is I said, I'm not crying because you've hurt my feelings, like I'm leaving it in the past. I'm crying because you're the first person to validate that it's okay to shift. Like, I don't want to just be like stuck in that, you know? So for me, it was like this shackles are like off. Like I get to be living in recovery and a million other things. Okay. So then I got on a call with Steve. And to put this in the nicest way possible, he ripped my ass into shreds about my social media. He brought the robe up. The robe circled back around, and I was like, okay, I get it. The robe has got to go, right? But he's like, it's not as big of a shift as you think. Like, You are a professional in the world, in the community. People know you, they see you as a professional. This business is just an extension of who you already are. So just flip-flop when you change your clothes. Literally, he's like, it's that easy. Like, you're not going to work testifying in your freaking robe and your sweatpants. Like, just shift the order, come home, plug in, do your stories, and then go put your stuff on. And I'm like, duh! Like, that is so crazy. And I've had people, like, it was very eye-opening to me because I knew I wasn't showing up dressed as the business leader that I wanted to attract. So I was doing the work of a business leader. I was leading my team. I was showing up. I was literally like working my freaking butt off. But if somebody who is looking for literally leaving their corporate full-time job, wanting to make a shitload of money, they might not just be like following the mom in their robe, right? They're looking for a business professional who can say, this is your roadmap to making six figures, and I'm going to lock arms with you and show you how to do it. So I needed to start showing up like a business leader on social media. And I have seen in 2 weeks, I have not had my robe in social media unless I'm like, I think like maybe like doing a skincare thing, and we're gonna circle back to that. But that was like the time and the place for it. It wasn't all day long. It wasn't, you know what I mean? Like I showed all parts of my day. I showed my outdoor clothes playing with Harlem. I came in. I had a one-on-one with one of my top leaders. I put Harlem down for a nap. I changed my clothes. I did my hair. I got dressed and I showed up for my call. And I shared on my stories that I did that because I was plugging into work. And so, you know what? People might be like, oh, like, yeah, she thinks she, whatever, business, whatever. And it's like, I don't care what you think because I'm going to be growing my community in the way that feels good. And I need to start showing up better. And every single one of you does too. And there's no way that you're going to do it unless I do it first, unless I set the standard. And I cannot tell you, this is almost embarrassing, how many people, including my corporate mentor, on day one said, "Oh my God, you look so good. You look amazing. What's different?" And I'm like, I got ready. I took my robe off. Like, I just look more professional. Okay. So now that I have the appearance down, and it's not like I'm trying to be somebody I'm not, right? I'm just showing up a little bit more put together. That doesn't mean I'm not a mess when I'm with Harlem playing outside. That doesn't mean that I'm not in my robe for my skincare, right? But I'm showing more sides of myself, okay? I want to share with you guys some of the ways that I have shifted my social media, specifically not how I'm looking, what I'm doing in social media that has changed the game in 2 weeks for me. Okay. My views are up, my views and my stories are up because it was kind of, going down and down and down. And then live events, it goes back up and then it's down again. And it's the same people watching over and over, right? And it's like, gosh, how do we find new people? That's the struggle for all of us is like, where are these new people? Okay. So here's the advice that was given to me, and I'm going to give it back to you. Social selling. Okay. Coming from Body, when I first did a social media training for you guys, we talked a lot about social selling, and I encouraged every single one of you to be better at it. And what I mean by that is I encouraged you to um, share about products and not just share about products, but share about why you like them, right? So a very simple example is don't just share that Vivix is for anti-aging from the inside out. Share that you have, pregnant, swollen feet and you took it for your colitis and then it helped that. Like why are you solving a problem for something, right? Or how are you solving a problem for someone? I am now here to tell you we need to move away from the chit chat in front of the camera. Okay? And I don't mean entirely, but it needs to be more calculated. And I'm gonna break it down for you. Okay. Social selling is me standing at my kitchen counter or at my window and just talking. It's talking about, this is my day. This is what I'm doing with Harlem. This is kind of what I've got going on. Casually throwing out that I'm plugging into work, which means nothing to anybody. While I'm doing it, I'm making my mocktail. I'm talking about my protein and I'm saying, this burns fat off of our lean muscle. People hear it. They've already heard it. And guess what? If I'm just talking and I have the captions up, people are doing this. They're just clicking through it. They're clicking through it because you did the same thing yesterday. You shared the same thing last week, right? Same graphic, same link. We have to move away from that. And so here are some ideas on how you can move away from it and grow your following, okay? First of all, stop sharing links. Okay. Start instead putting something in the corner that says comment gummy, comment inflammation, comment energy, comment clean. Because, well, two reasons. People are going to click your link and then go back to their scrolling and then forget to ever check out. It is very rare, and I think you guys can agree with this, that somebody clicks your link from your stories and takes this time to stop and get off the couch and go get their purse and go put their card info in because you shared a fun fact about how your mocktail helped get you off of coffee. They know you'll share it tomorrow. Maybe they'll get it tomorrow. Okay. It is so much easier for somebody to go mocktail, and then you can circle back and have a conversation with them. If somebody says mocktail, you're not like, here's my link. You're like, hey, I saw you commented mocktail. What part of my, talking in my stories kind of spoke to you? You're just chit-chatting. Hey, I saw you were interested in this, like what's good? What's up? Right? And that's where we personalize our conversations with people instead of sounding salesy. Okay? Here's the other reason why you want to stop sharing your links. Because if you share them on Instagram, you can't click them on Facebook. Same with polls, same with calls to action. So for me, I'm somebody who I have a great following on Instagram, but my Facebook story watchers are way higher. They just are. I don't know. I don't know why. But for the love of freaking gosh, nobody can freaking touch a link or tap a poll or swipe anything, right? So it's like, it's wasted engagement. We put all this time into our stories for wasted engagement that nobody, and I realized it because somehow I'm not a story watcher, but one day I was watching, I think, Courtney Janitas' stories, and I was like, oh, I like that tank top she shared about, and I clicked the link, and I'm like, why isn't it working? And then I message her and I go, your link doesn't work. And then she's like, oh, it's because you're on Facebook. I'm like, wait, so you shared the link on Instagram? And then I put it all together and I was like, oh my God, this makes so much more sense now. Why, like, I think it was Steve said, stop sharing links. Stop sharing links. It makes you look salesy, right? Even if you're sitting there talking about how you're solving a problem or how it's helped you or how it's helped your child or how it's helped somebody, right? You're still dropping a link and we have to move away from that. Okay? We have to start moving away from that. Here is something that I have started doing. This was a direct instruction on one of my mentorship calls. Okay? People need to know if they're watching your stories that you are about to drop a hot tip for them. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that you need to plan out what you are going to say before you go prop your phone up in front of the best lighting and just press record and start yip yapping. I am the freaking worst culprit of that. Okay? I was doing it for years. Just chit-chatting, being myself, showing my personality, because in a way, it does help, right? Um, it does help bring in new people. But after a couple of days of them watching the same thing over and over, you're losing people and you're losing credibility and you're not building trust. So, for example, I normally talk about before I made the shift, Life Shake. It burns fat off lean muscle, helps you preserve your muscle, which boosts your metabolism, helps with weight loss, even if you're not working out. I went to ChatGPT and I said, give me some unusual facts about the people who might benefit from leucine. And I asked ChatGPT and it gave me some basic leucine information. I said, no, no, no. Give me something that more people don't know about. Who, who really needs leucine and why? And it was like, well, did you know that leucine is the only amino acid and protein that can actually recover, build your muscles and grow them without exercise? And I was like, actually, I didn't. And then it was like, this would be really great for these three groups of people: postpartum moms who are in recovery. And I was like, oh my God, that's me. And then it was like people over 40 who are feeling less mobile. I was like, okay, that's almost me. And number three, people who have been inactive for a while. And I was like, oh my God, this is all me. Right? But hearing it that way, I was like, interesting. So it's the only amino acid that can actually repair your muscle without exercise. It's the only amino acid that can build muscle for you without exercise. We have it in our protein shake. That's why it's different, right? That's why it's different than anything that you can buy at Costco or Amazon. Okay. So I didn't just get in my stories and start talking about it. You will see in my stories, I've started to put a little thing at the top that's like, hot tip this, or let's chat something. Okay. And so some of it is number one, education, and number two, it's value. So how do we provide value? This is something I struggled with, and I finally feel like I might be starting to get the hang of it. Okay. When we're talking value, and in this, I'm going to use an example that I saw on Jamie Innes's story because it's like the best example that I could give you off the top of my head. Value is something that people can do today without buying anything from you. Okay. So she was on her little walking pad or treadmill or whatever, and she was talking about Memorial Day. And she was talking about how, and the top, she had her captions, right, for people who are reading it, and the top said, let's chat alcohol. Okay. Let's chat alcohol. And she started talking about how alcohol will spike your blood sugar and this and that and the other thing. And it will end up being empty calories that will lead you to feel hungry. And then your sugar will skyrocket and then it will crash. And then honestly, I was like really learning a lot just in like the 60 seconds that she was talking. And then she was like, so here's some ways that you can avoid the sugar crash in doing that this Memorial Day. And she was like, start your day off with this, and this, like eating vegetables, having a burger without the bun, having a second burger, even if that, or if you're not full from the burger without the bun, have a second one, get more protein in, and then go have your drink. And she was like, because the science is showing us that this, and this. And it was like something that people could just take away right then and there and go implement that day. Right. So then the next day, I did a story about omega-3s and how I've heard like there is like all this science that, I mean, obviously correlation does not mean cause, right? But we know that there is a reduced likelihood of postpartum depression. So my top little quote said, let's talk postpartum depression. And I had my little captions, and then the next one, to build engagement, only on Instagram because it obviously doesn't go to Facebook. Have you struggled with postpartum depression? Right? Yes. terribly or, maybe a little bit, not at all, like whatever. And so I did this whole thing on postpartum depression. And then I took it a step farther and I said to ChatGPT, I got a lot of good engagement on my omega 3s. Can you explain the science behind how this helps reduce my risk of postpartum depression? And then it gave me all the science. And I said, well, I'd like to make this into a reel. Can you make this sound more like me, more casual, but keep the science part of it in there? It did it. I got in there, I changed the words I didn't like that didn't sound like me. I fixed it up, right? And I made a reel and I got a lot of engagement on it. I got a lot of views on it, right? More views than I was getting posting whatever, okay? And so that is how we give value. We educate, right? I'm not saying buy omega 3s, right? I'm just saying this is what I did the first time postpartum, and this is what I'm going to do now based on not only personal experience, but education. These are three things I'm going to change, okay? So, stories and reels alike, we are providing value, okay? Um, the other thing that I will say is that it is more beneficial to you to have less stories up that you have sat down and said, okay, I'm going to do 3 stories and I'm going to talk about this, this, and this. Sometimes I literally have my phone like this and a sticky note like right behind it. So it looks like I'm talking to the phone, but I'm reading the science off of something I wrote down so that I can get it right. Because I just learned it. Because I planned my stories. I took a few minutes and I just asked ChatGPT or I Googled, give me a fun random fact about this thing that I'm really liking right now. Okay, I did the same thing for vitamin C. Why will vitamin C help people with dark spots? What's the science behind it? And then it was like, oh, well, because vitamin C blocks your melanin production or blocks the enzyme that creates melanin that creates dark spots. And can you give me a random fact about that that would, you know, reach the pregnant community? Well, it's one of the only safe vitamin C's for pregnant people on the market. I didn't freaking know that. I said, okay, well, can you take this fun fact and this fun fact and this fun fact and make me a graphic to Chat GPT? And it made me a graphic. I said, can you redo it and put oranges in the background? And it just did it. And I said, hmm. So I shared the science in my stories. It took a minute to research it, right? I might have had less stories that day, but it was more beneficial. So less is more, and we have to start being more planful about what we're talking about. Okay? That is how we revamp our social media. Um, the other thing is that you need to show more you in all forms. Okay? So, like, um, not just Shackley, 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 not just education, education, value. All of us have value outside of Shackley. What do you know about? Like maybe you recently became a freaking reptile mom and you are actually obsessed and it's kind of weird, but you're like really like obsessed with your like lizards and stuff, Stacia. And maybe you like broke your ankle in Disney World randomly and now have launched a freaking massive business from your recliner chair while on crutches, while doing physical therapy, while taking Vivix, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you do your husband's skincare in the basement, but he doesn't want anyone to know. You know, Marissa. Like, I'm just saying, like, or maybe you're a badass, like, I don't even medical professional who sits in the operating room and has her hands in people's body parts all day, Kristen. Or maybe you own your own company times two, Elizabeth. Right? Like we all have things that make us us, right? Maybe you do hair and dead people, Amber. so freaking weird, okay? Like it creeps me out, makes me sweat. Anyways, like we all have things, like, right? We all have our things, right? Or maybe, Angela, you're moving. Do you know the biggest things that will blow up your social media? You're you're moving, you're married, you're having a baby. Those three will blow your shit up. It doesn't matter the reason why you're moving, it doesn't matter when you're having your baby, it doesn't matter where you're getting married. People want to be in your business, and that's exciting. Share more of that. Share more packing. Share, we're going to look at this place. Take a tour of the place. Show a little clip. Like, what value do you have for people when looking at, new apartments? Maybe your dad is really good at like knowing that stuff. What have you learned from him? Like, those are all things that are special to you that I've heard all of you guys talk about, okay? That have nothing to do with me and I could never talk about it, right? That's how we offer value. Oh, excuse me, Marissa. Maybe you had open heart surgery and just casually survived. I'm just saying, we all have our shit, right? And like when you peel those onion layers back, we realize that we have really vulnerable things about ourselves. And I know I'm not going to put them out here. You guys have shared them with me, but it's like those are the vulnerable, valuable things about you, whether you've dealt with grief or loss or, medical illness or made a recovery that might not be addiction or something with your family, like something that is so special to you, right? You can provide value about those topics that people are looking for, just like I did for years and years and years to the recovery community by sharing things that nobody wanted to talk about, right? Like, you never know. Like, I'll just throw one idea out. Like one random thing that maybe you never even thought of. Maybe some people with open heart surgery are really embarrassed to wear low-cut shirts because of their scar. Maybe that isn't you, but maybe that is somebody else. Maybe instead of giving scar treatment ideas, you give confidence about scar treatment ideas. Like, this is how I rock my scar with three different outfits and look hot as hell. I'm just saying, like, you have value that you guys haven't tapped into yet. So it is time to get creative. And ChatGPT is the way of the world. It is. It is the way of the world right now. And it is a smart business decision to start learning how to use it. Okay? It is a smart business decision. Not because I want it to do all the work for you, but because it will think of things that you haven't and it will make you show up more professional. Okay? That doesn't mean stop speaking from the heart. That means spend time with your chat GPT and let it get to know you. Talk to it. I didn't have chat GPT until I went to the Dominican trip. I didn't know anything about it other than on Facebook Meta something AI. I don't know. I would be like, what's a good name for this group? That's the only thing I did with it. I didn't know how to use it. Jamie told me, she's like, yeah, I spent 5 minutes talking about this trip and created all my content, so that I'm ready to go, like, by the time I get there. And I'm like, you did what now? I'm like, how the fuck do you do that? So I downloaded it in the airport and I was like, hey, girl. Uh, this is so weird. And I'm just like, my name is Cass. Like, I'm like talking to it and I'm just like in there and I'm like, I want to talk to you about this trip that I'm taking. I run a Shackley business. This is what happened with Beachbody. And I'm telling it all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, a couple of things about myself. Like, I've been married to Derek and he does this for work. And we've known each other since eighth grade and we have a blended family and these are our kids. And like, I just was talking to it. And so sometimes when I'm like, help me come up with a post idea or a real idea of this, it will be like, oh, Derek, athlete, father, healing his arthritis while I'm over here on my pregnancy journey. And I'm like, I didn't say any of that, but she knows. and she remembers the details of my life. And I'm like, that is perfect, right? You can elevate your business into big ass dollar signs by getting smarter with technology. And we have to be better about doing it. Okay. So, anyways, before we end the call tonight, what I want us all to do, and some of you have done this with me separately, but I want to do it all together. So we are going to reverse engineer some goals. And if you set goals and you fell off, show of hands if you've ever set a goal for yourself in this business and you didn't reach it. Yeah, me too. Because I can tell you in my mind, I actually wanted to hit 30K last month and the month before, right? And dang, is that kind of a hard pill to swallow when you actually say it out loud and then you don't hit it? It sucks, right? We're going to keep doing the hard work. So get used to it because we're going to keep failing forward. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to look at our numbers and our goals tonight before we get off. And I want to see the chat popping off. Okay. I want to see not only what your sales goal is, but if you have a Star Club goal, what is it? Do you have a retreat earning goal? What is it, right? I know there's a couple of different people on here who are actively working towards earning a retreat with their upline, which is very cool. Um, and if you have a volume goal, meaning a PTV goal, what is it? Maybe you've never gotten past 500. Maybe you've gotten to 1,000 and now your goal is 1,500. Okay. Maybe it's not just, I want to be a director, right? Like, what are your actual goals? And I don't mean your safe ones, but what do you want to work towards? Okay. So I want to see in the chat what those goals are. And then we are going to reverse engineer them. So let's see. Start typing. I want to see the goals in there. All of you. I'll do mine too. I need new customers. 1 Star Club bonus to hold director. Really want to be in Michigan in September. That's right, girl. Work on talking more about the science behind the okay, yep. My goal is 30K OV. I really want to hit 35%, but no less than 30. Um, Amber, minimum sales goal, 30%, 4 Star Clubs. I should have added Star Clubs to mine too, because when I'm pushing towards the end of the month, I'm circling back to the same people and I have to get away from that. I have to find new. Um, 2 Star Club bonuses, hit director. Okay. Yes, we will do that, Elizabeth. Okay. 20% commission tier, 2 Star Club bonuses. Yes. Really, yes. September retreat. Take on a new ambassador. Mm-hmm. Hit goal by mid-month, not the 11th. Okay. Wait, who said that? Who's Zoom user? Katie.
Katie
Not.
is.
Okay. Hit goal by mid-month. Okay. What do you mean not 11th? 11th hour?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I agree.
30%.
I think we should all make that a thing.
Well, what I would like to see is if your goal is director, I would like for you to be hitting that by the 15th.
Ooh,
Okay.
girl.
I would like for you to do that by the 15th.
Game
Okay.
on.
If your goal is Star Club, I would like you to do that by the 15th.
Okay.
Marissa, we got work to do, sister.
I know.
So
I know.
now I want you to come up. You know how, like, I always like if your goal is director, I'm like, okay, take 2,000, divide it by 30 because there's 30 days in the month, right? How much PTV do you need per day? I want you to do that for the 15th. Okay. I've kind of paired some of you up, right? Whether it's with your upline or somebody at a similar rank, right? Because not only do we pair with our downline and our upline, but we pair with people, we success partner with people who are matching our energy, right? That's important too. And so I do the same thing with Courtney Janitis. We talk all day, every day because she is what's your OV? What's your OV? Okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's like, okay, we locked in month one. Okay, I've locked in. Let me help your people. You've locked in. You come give me ideas, right? And it's nice to have somebody like my stuff doesn't impact hers at all. Like I don't even know her from anything other than we met in the Dominican and we are complete opposites, but we work well together, right? Like and we check in, business related, right? So like Amber and Stacia, like you guys, your businesses don't impact each other, right? But it's nice to have that accountability. Where you at? Where you at? And it motivates us, right? It motivates us to keep like climbing. Um, so if your goal is Star Club, maybe you link up with somebody in Star Club. You know, how many new customers have you connected with today? Okay. If you're coming from the body world, and I want you guys to be doing your numbers and dropping them in the chat while I'm talking at you, but we have to get away from PD, invite, connect, follow up, post. This is not body. That won't work here. Okay. We need more connection and we need to expand. Okay. We need to talk to more people. We all need to talk to more people. I need to freaking talk to new people. Okay. My goal is less about finding new ambassadors, although I really do want to grow this team. But I have been actually going through my team and helping people cancel their accounts because it doesn't do us any good to have an ambassador in the downline who doesn't work, doesn't want to be here when they're still placing monthly orders and it's not going to that commission tier at the top bar. It kills me when people join and then they say they want to work and then they never do a thing, but they place $300 orders a month and I'm like, oh, kill me. Like that is right. And so I'm helping people cancel because honestly, it's better for them. They get free shipping over $150. They get loyalty all month long and they get the exact same discount. They get the good relationship with me with no pressure to build a business. Win-win, right? Helping people cancel. So my goal is I need to find like 10 new customers. 10 new customers and help them fall in love with the products and then maybe two of them will want to elevate and be an ambassador, right? So that's my goal. And I think if I can like mentally compartmentalize customers at the forefront, it will help grow my team, which is the ultimate goal eventually. So I think that's my focus. Okay. Stacia, my goal is 2,500 PTV, two star clubs, 25% sales. I need to hit 91 PTV a day to hit my first goal by the 20th. What does that number look like by the 15th? I want to know that too. I need Oh, I see. I need okay. 1,611 PTV, so 134 PTV per day to hit director by the 15th. Good. I like this. I need 166 PTV to hit senior director numbers by the 15th. That's right, because Elizabeth is going to the D this month.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Not really a question, actually. So this is usually the time, like when we're running a group, where I start to get stuck. So like now I'm like, I really want to like focus on new customers and like I had probably like three people who were interested in doing the reset, but it just like wasn't the right time financially for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to obviously like circle back to them, but I also don't really know what I'm inviting to right now. So like, how am I going to get new customers if I don't know like what we're doing next? Or like,
Yeah.
how am I
And
getting in their
oh my gosh,
inbox
I
and
meant
being
to go
like,
over the
hey,
calendar.
yeah,
Yes.
like what am I just be like, hey, can you check out my store? Like, I
No,
don't know.
no.
Right. I
Okay.
know we don't want to do that, but I don't know how to like
So
get
first
new.
of all, I want you to spend some time thinking about what you want to invite to. Okay. Like, what do you like, right? So I can tell you, I think we had and are having a great experience doing the reset group, and I would like to run another one post 4th of July. So people who didn't get involved in this one, maybe they'll commit to the next one, and we can use our experience now as marketing, screenshotting, taking comments, taking customers before and afters, and whatever else. It will, at least for me, I'm thinking it will pair perfectly with my postpartum journey to hit it with a reset. Okay. I would like to do so Monday, June 9th, and I know I put this in all the chats. We have a webinar. I don't know what we're covering, but we are doing it extravaganza style. Okay. It will be fast, it will be furious, it will be lucrative. Put $20 to $25 aside for that night. It will not be an extravaganza with luxury prizes. We will be doing our own. Um, and oh my God, it's disgusting. Okay. And I would like to run a Modere group after convention, a sculpt and trim type of something or another. I think we need to tap heavily into that market. And I wasn't prepared to talk about that too much on the call tonight because I'm only halfway through the recording. Once I fully get through the recording, then I want to like really solidify a plan. Okay. So I am like right now, I'm inviting to a bash that we are running. Derek and I are running Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's just a free group. Okay. Um, I am also circling back around towards this weekend because people who didn't get the reset probably didn't get paid last weekend. But if they wanted to do it, I'm going to circle back around this weekend and be like, hey, just want to let you know that this reset group went amazing. And here are some of the results from it. How do you feel about the timing of doing another one after the 4th of July and just opening that door back up? Okay. Um, I am thinking July 7, 7 to 11. Okay. Put it on your calendar. And I do have a calendar. It's just not finalized yet. Um, but I would like to see, and I know, um, Jamie is running a curb and sculpt group, June 23rd. Hold, please. It's after convention. That's what I know. Okay. So what we need to decide is do we want to do our own or do we want to do one with everyone? Thoughts, feedback?
I personally
Everyone
feel like
isn't
our
who?
like the big team, like Jamie's big team.
Oh, no.
I feel
Thank
like
you.
our own. I feel like it's
No, thank you.
so crazy and overwhelming when we
Yeah.
do join their group. It's just so much. It's so
Okay.
Yeah.
big.
I
Okay.
agree. I second that.
Okay.
I cannot wait to lather my body in rose oil.
You look miserable, girl.
You know what? I had like the best day. I unplugged and I went kayaking for like 8 hours with my husband and had so much fun. I just am stupid about sunscreen always. And this happens to me every year. I get burned by Thursday it will be tan, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
just
not good for
tired.
your skin.
I know. He woke me up at 4 a.m. and I've been up since 4 a.m. So I'm fucking tired. It's not as sore as it looks though, which is a good thing. But Katie said, lather yourself in the rose oil. So I'm literally going to do that.
And
Yeah,
vitamin C and E, if you have the golden drops, it really
I
helps
do.
with burn.
I do. And I'm going to specifically like tell I am getting in my stories to do this because I'm specifically going to tell them, hey, I'm using this rose oil. I'll come
Mhm.
back tomorrow and let you know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so
My father-in-law used it in Florida because he got super, super burnt in Florida. And rose oil on sunburns, prime time. Prime time. Like he immediately went and bought his own bottle because he
Not
loves
just
my smell.
sunburns, but actual burns. Like
Oh.
burns and rashes too. Like my son's been getting really bad summer rashes. It's been helping tons. And just FYI, I did a little peekaboo through Jamie's trim and sculpt group, and it's nothing that I'm like, we can totally recreate this and it's fine. Um, do we want to do that right after convention?
Do you think other things that are going to drop that we're going to want to jump into more, or do you think, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what convention consists of, but is there going to be like new products dropping and we're going to be like wanting to dive into those instead? Or do you think O'Dare is going to be the big thing?
I think that yes, there will be big products and we will use them to launch July.
Got it.
Because convention is like 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. Then we
Mhm.
have the weekend. Then like June 23rd would be the start. Like that Monday would be the start of whatever trim and sculpt. And we could just do like a 5-day group. I think 5-day groups are just like the goat because people get bored after a week, you know? And people disengage on the weekends. So I think that would be cool. Um, Also maybe the reset is teaching us that we do the group for 5 days and then pull all the raffle winners on the weekend. Who knows? Friday night or something like that. We'll see. But I think that's a good idea. And we would need to get everybody enrolled for that group by like the 18th. And that would give us 2 weeks from tomorrow. It's a good invite chunk. Okay. Everyone on board for that? All right. I'm making myself.
I feel like that's a good enough time for everybody to like rewatch the training if they need to, figure their stuff out, order whatever they're gonna try, start hyping it up.
yeah, I have to watch the training tomorrow.
I have to
I'm
finish
not
it.
even through, like, I think I made it almost halfway,
But
but
I
I need
think
Yeah.
to, like,
2 weeks has been like the golden, like minimum of the 2 weeks to be able to invite to a group. I
okay.
like that 2 week versus like a 1 week. Like remember we were like in that one
That
week
would actually,
turnaround and it was like
yeah, but that would actually be perfect because by the time we start the group on the 23rd, now we're switching gears and inviting to the reset, which starts exactly 2 weeks later on the 7th.
love it.
Okay.
I also just want to say, which I'm sure everybody on here has probably thought of, but I was talking to Cass about this last night. Um, I'm taking out the like supplements in my reset box that like I already have and using those for samples.
Me too.
Like I have my Life Shake, so I'm taking those Life Shake packets out. I personally do not like the electrolyte flavors at all. Mm-mm. No. So I'm using those because, I'm very specific on flavors. Like I like all fresh fruit, but I don't like fruity flavors like fake melon, like stuff like I don't like that. But I know that a lot of people do. So it's an easy way to like grow your sample packets pretty much. What? Hi.
Yeah, and I think it would be a great idea if we could all get, 3 to 5 sample packets passed out this
Yeah.
month. It
Yeah.
always helps. And it doesn't matter if you're doing the reset or if you just have Energize or Good Gut and Go or a meal bar or a snack bar to pass out. Like, give it to a mom at the soccer field, give it to a friend at the, whatever. Um, but yes, that is a great idea. And like after you said that, I asked Derek last night, I'm like, can you save me those vitamins and the electrolytes and da 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 da. So that's
Yeah.
actually what we're gifting for the birthday bash all week. Part of
Yes,
it.
my girl, she has a question. What?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, I just love your face. Um,
I look
So,
like a tomato.
yeah, well, you're gonna rose oil that, so you're gonna be fine. So my hubby is a loyalty. My mother-in-law's a loyalty. My father-in-law's a loyalty. And I was actually going to have them put in the SPF because it's only $5. And then I'm going to keep those and then I'm going to raffle them off
That's a
Oh,
great
that's a
idea.
good
for
idea.
free.
I
It's
just
like,
did that with my own, and that's one of
yeah,
my prizes for the birthday bash too, is the
That's a good
$5
idea.
SPF.
for like $53 product. Yes, I'm going to tell everybody to put that in their cart so
That's a
then I
great
can score
idea.
Yes,
it.
that is a great idea. I don't know, my rich night cream is on loyalty. Well, it was. It's not anymore because now I have like two full jars. And I was telling Cass last night, I was like, I am obsessed with this cream. And as much as like I hate to do it, like I think I'm going to use that as like a giveaway, like spend $175 and I'm going to personally gift you like a full jar of the night cream. I know. Amber, I can see your eyes bugging out. Girl, I know.
It's a great
Oh,
idea, though. It really is. It's
no.
stellar idea because, and if it can generate more, do it.
I know. That's what I thought.
Honestly,
So,
it's a good idea for customer appreciation.
Hmm.
And if you can get somebody like, hey, you won this, do you want to try the cleanser with it? Like it's a good way to introduce like the line. But just really quick, because I do want to respect your guys' time. It's 9:05. I just
oh,
want
sorry.
to just really quickly. Okay. Here's our game plan.
Okay, wait, I'm writing it
If
down.
you're on board.
Hold on.
I would say by like tomorrow, we all need to have watched the training. Okay. That's first. By tomorrow, like no later, because that's the 2 week mark to start inviting, and we need to get our shit together. And I'm so glad you brought this up, Marissa. Okay. So then we will take the next 2 weeks to invite to a trim and sculpt group. Once we even know what the hell that looks like, by tomorrow, we'll have a better game plan. I'll create a separate chat for it. We'll get some good ideas. Um, If you have a hard time talking about the new products, practice it in the shower. Say it out loud. Ask ChatGPT to help simplify it for you and give you the words to use on social media to share about it that are less scientific and more just like basic until you get a hang of it and then add in more science. Okay. We're going to invite to that group for 2 weeks from the 4th until the 18th. Got it? 4th until the 18th. Then we will be at convention. That group will start the 23rd of June. As soon as the 23rd hits, yes, it will be 5 days. As soon as the 23rd hits, we will switch gears and have 2 weeks to invite to the second round of the reset that will start July 7th. Both
Okay,
of
now I feel
those
much
are,
better.
yes, me too. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay. Yeah.
Both of those things are so smart in terms of business decisions because the PV is bananas on those products. Why is trim so expensive? I don't know, but we're gonna find out. Um, I think it's a great idea. Um, join the groups that you feel connected with. Don't join the groups that feel forced. Do what feels organic and feels good to you. Um, and I would love to see in the Shackley chat and in the level ones chat, if you're in my level ones chat. Okay, well, I also have to say I'm so proud of my level ones chat because it's like emptying out. Which just tells me I'm doing a good job. It tells me that you guys are elevating your businesses. I'm like, okay, this chat is getting emptier. So like that's a good thing. But I would love to see you guys share like, hey, I'm on day 3. I should be here. I'm actually here. Whether you're ahead or behind. I'm behind right now. 2,500 OV. I'm behind. Should be at 3,000 by end of day. So I'm gonna go plug into some work. Everybody feel like they have a good plan for the month. Okay. Okay. All right. I will. Oh, take a picture.
Oh my God, I look so red.
You look so red. I love it.
Smile. Okay. I will hear from you guys. Can you guys all drop in the comments when you're done watching the training? Hey, I've caught up. Hey, I've caught up. Okay, cool. I'll do the same.
I will try to do that tomorrow during the day,
Yeah.
but if I can't get to it during the day, which I really don't know if I'm going to be able to, I'm going to do that tomorrow night during bedtime. So like I will
Okay.
get it done tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it during the day.
Prioritize a time where you can sit down and take notes, not a time
Yes.
where you're listening and doing something else, because it won't really help you if you're.
Okay, then it's definitely probably going to be at night because I
Okay.
have been working through lunches and I worked until 6:30 last night.
Okay. Cool. All right, guys. See you later.
Love
Bye.
you.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
Bye.